Yes, we are live. We've got a match. Is this round of 32 now? Or is it still around 64? I actually didn't check beforehand. Alright, the final one before we get to the final 32. We got pppppppp versus humortime. And, alright, so how'd they open? Yeah, that makes sense to me. I believe you can still react to Diplomat whether it affects you or not. Because, yeah, the condition's only that they've played an attack card, not that, like, you get attacked or something like that. I don't... Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, I was actually just about to contemplate that. I feel like you cannot build a diplomat-heavy deck here, because if you do that, your opponent could easily just stop playing ambassadors at some point in the game and then trash the last few coppers with counterfeits. Plus, it relies on those diplomats being top decked in the first place, which, I mean, you can do once with Traveling Fair, but wouldn't be guaranteed in general. I think in the short term, a diplomat like could be worth it in this deck, because like at least in the early stages, it's going to trigger pretty often. But I don't think you want to have like mass diplomats. Yeah, I feel like this might just end up going in like a catacombs money-ish direction, given that there's no villages. Yeah, that seems high to me as well. Like early in the game, I was definitely following the Guardians, but 10 does seem excessive to me. I assume 5 for each of them, or one of them has 6, in which case that's incredibly bad. Because like Guardian is honestly worse than Copper here, because unlike Copper, it can't get trapped with your counterfeits. And so if you're buying a Guardian to block a single Copper attack, then you're probably hurting your deck more than they are. Yeah, like given that there's, I was gonna say, given that there's no engine to be built, like there's no risk that even if your opponent gets thin, like I don't see them buying curses and trying to ambassador you curses or anything like that. So like worst case scenario, you get a few extra coppers, which your counterfeits can deal with. Yep. Now, the buy that I'm confused about is they both have Sacred Groves, which does not seem like a card I want particularly much. I feel like that's true like 95% of the time with Sacred Grove, is most of the boons are just things that help you at the start of your turn, not the end of your turn. Like getting to draw 2 cards and discard 2 cards is much more likely to help your opponent who's about to have a turn than you who's already had one. Those sorts of things. So it's like a terminal gold that helps them. I'd rather just have a Catacombs, I think. Yeah, agreed on that. Yeah, regarding Sacred Grove, I feel like it is rarely a very strong card. And I think the context you get are either A, you just really need the plus buy, which isn't true here, or B, there's some important reason to make your payload action rather than treasure. For example, like if there were a little bit more support here, you could build a double Tactician engine, and in that deck, Sacred Grove would obviously be much better than Golds or something like that. But barring that, Sacred Grove seems like a pretty weak card to me. Yep. Not to mention, once you've got 5 Guardians in your deck, Tactician is going to be pretty awkward because Tactician and Night cards do not play well together. Yeah, I agree with that. And this is the point in the game where I'd probably just be counterfeiting the highest cost treasure that helped me. So let's see, they have 5, 10, 11 here. They could have either 13 or 14. I guess you counterfeit the silver anyway here, just because there's no value in hitting 14 over 13. Counterfeit silver gets you Providence Duchy. Yeah, they don't have room to play conservatively when they're down by hella points. Yeah. Yeah, Province Duchy seemed very clear there to me. Yep. There's also 11 states in the pile, which also, I guess, raises the half VP mark a little bit. Yeah, we're definitely at the point in the game where you wouldn't want to ambassador your opponent in a state even if you could. Alright, well that's game. The old 3 pile. Alright, so game 1 to humor time. As player 1. This one looks more interesting. Oh boy, 5-2 would look great here. Actually, neither of them has a very good opening. Even 4-3 would be great here, because with the Baker token you could still summon. Alright, so... the Marauder attack looks pretty annoying to me. Trashing here is real bad. It's Displace or Transmute, and Displace is not good at dealing with ruins, and Transmute's not good at dealing with anything. Yeah, I'm not sure. Well, if you have the who was it at the 5-2? I can understand opening Dungeon Marauder from PPP's perspective. As Humor Time, I think I might have considered Dungeon Displace, and you can displace that those estates into 4 costs. Yeah. Oh wait, yeah, never mind. They can do that. Either of them could have done it. I don't know what I was talking about. Yeah, with the Baker token, either of them could have opened under Displace. I was confusing myself. And yeah, I like Humor Time's opening better than in that case. Yep. Yeah, I would use a coffer on that. So I do like aggressively summoning here, like the Ironmongers and such. I think a summoned Ironmonger looks better than most of the 5s around this point in the game. Yeah. Yeah. I think that's fine. There's going to be a lot of junk in your deck for a while. I feel like 2 is usually a good number of dungeons. Here, 3 seems fine. Maybe even 4. I like summoning the Mountain Village. That was a nice play. They know they've already seen the good cards in their shuffle. So they'll be able to pick that up off of the Mountain Village. I also like that PPP has a Devil's Workshop. Imp seems really good here, given that it's the only reasonable draw. Yeah. Yep. Oh, I don't think I like that play order. I think I would have displaced the estate into like an Ironmonger or something first before triggering the shuffle. Get one more good card into that shuffle. I don't think the Mountain Village summon is going to work because they have a dungeon in play, so they would trigger that shuffle. I would probably just summon an Ironmonger. Oh, you're right. Yeah, you can choose the order. Yeah, I like that then. Summoning Mountain Village seems totally fine to me. Yeah, I think Ironmonger is pretty reasonable as well. I think I would have discarded Copper over Estate there. I mean, maybe you're taking a gamble there in assuming your Displace is going to show up. But now they don't get to play it. So something I was actually just thinking about is I think I really want a Prince here, and not even to play it, but just as a substitute for the gold, like displace Prince into Province and Province back into Prince and so forth, which serves the same function, but isn't racking up Bandit Fort points. Yeah, I mean, like, it is contingent on you hitting 8, so, like, maybe this is a scenario like here where you hit 7, you're like, it's greening time, I might as well just go the gold route anyway. But if I could afford it, I would definitely like to do the Prince thing over the gold. Yeah. Now, we haven't seen either of them take a gold or a Prince yet, so we'll find out in a second which one they do. I'm sure they'll go that route. Actually, maybe not totally sure, but I would think they would go that route. Maybe I shouldn't be revealing these key strategies. Aren't we about to play in the round of 32? Yeah. Yeah. Prince is terrible. Never get it, ever. Prince, it's the worst. Don't summon Ironmongers. Just buy curses. Yes. Yep. I don't have a good sense of who's in the lead here. They've played rather similarly for most of this game. It's fair. Yeah, they also have more exiled. Although I think PPP was the one who got the earlier Devil's Workshop, and I feel like that's paying off. Yeah. Now, piles are getting really low. That's something to seriously watch out for. Yeah, like humortime's already buying estates. I'm not sure. Yeah. Yeah, at this point, I think I might just take province over prince, and I mean, like, actually, there's no scenario where you buy the prince first. You can buy province first and then displace it into prince. So there's never a reason to get the prince first. Yeah, this looks good. P10. Yeah. I could consider taking Marauder or Province for purpose of displacing them. I think I'm taking a displaced target here. Oh. And I'd probably just turn it into a duchy at this point. Like, again, obviously you could displace it into Prince with the idea of getting a new province for the long game. But I think here I might just want to score rapidly, because like duchy's piling is also a serious consideration. Like gain a duchy, buy a duchy. That all looks good. I think I probably would have actually displaced the Marauder over the province, though. Oh, was there a missed win? What was the... Could they have done triple dungeon there? What? Wait, so they had... Wait, what was the line there? So they had 5 money, right? And a plus buy. So they need to both get money and get a card that can be displaced into a dungeon? I don't know. Full of Lore seems to think that there was a missed win, so maybe there's one that we just didn't notice. I'm not sure. Yep, that'll do it. Yeah. Okay, so 1-1 going into game 3. What do we got here? Plenty of action between encampment and bazaar. Draws encampment or black cat or imp. Gains Falconer and Engineer, so you can only gain cheap cards, or golds, I guess, off of Horde. No trashing. Chariot Race seems like it's pretty good here. It's one of the cards that can be easily gained, and you know your opponent's going to have coppers in their deck throughout the game. So I'd probably look to, at some, not necessarily in the short term, but eventually I think I would like to get a bunch of the Chariot Races. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd be inclined to build. I think you can. I mean, you can get the fountain points pretty easily towards the end game, just like gaining some coppers off of your engineers. You could get some plunders if your opponent just leaves the encampment pile uncontested. I definitely want to try to build, even though it'll be kind of slow. Now, how'd they open? I would think that on 5-2 and 4-3 seem much better than the alternatives to me, because you could open with either Falconer or Devil's Workshop followed by an engineer. Well, yeah, I would have thought Falcon and Engineer was better. Wow, so we already have Plunder uncovered and bought by turn 5. That is fast. I don't... Wait, what am I missing here? I'm looking at PPP's turn 4. They trashed an Engineer to gain an encampment, and then rebought the Engineer. Why does that make any sense? I'm looking at PPP's turn 4. I guess maybe they just really wanted to win that encampment split. Wait, were they even in debt? Wait, no. On turn 4, I'm always a little bit skeptical of things that I'm gleaning from the log, because it's hard to just like reconstruct the hand very effectively. But why would they trash an engineer to gain an encampment and just to rebuy an engineer, rather than keep the engineer and buy an encampment? It seems like they've given themselves one debt unnecessarily. Alright, so we've seen the plunders pile. I mean, plunders are kind of important because you want to keep the encampments around. I don't think it's as important to win the plunder split as it is to win the encampment split. But it's not a bad card to have here, I don't think. I think Cartographer is really good here. I would not have even thought about greening yet. Yeah, I mean, not only that, but you have a ton of junk in your deck. So Cartographer is also just going to let you skip a ton of coppers and estates a lot of the time. So even separate from the general synergies, it's also kind of fine. Yeah, greening. I mean, y'all both have a bunch of black cats. I don't think I'd be wanting to buy provinces that much. I just want to like get ahead on the split on like chariot race and stuff, and then force my opponent to buy province early. Yep. They are playing very fast. I feel like potentially unstrategically fast. I would not have popped all my engineers. I would love to have engineers in my deck. Just gain some free chariot races, gain some free black cats, gain some coppers in the end game, and then spin my buys on cartographer or bazaar. No, they're not. Yeah. Any at this point. Yeah, engineer would be the greatest way to threaten fountain points, because you can pop it for 2 coppers at once and then buy a copper. So it's like 15 points in a turn that you have to play around. Is this going to be a pile out? They only have 1 falconer, so I don't think it can be. Even if they found the Devil's Workshop, that would just be an imp gain. I think I'd take a black cat and buy a province. So the question is, can Humor Time find their falconer? They might. They're getting close. Oh, that's sad. Seeing the encampment and not getting to play it because you've already played one this turn. Still looks like a great position. I don't think pppppppp can score more than 13 points here to stop the win. Yeah. Too little, too late. Oh wait, maybe not. Wait. I think you draw. I think you draw. You play the. No, this is actually 100%. No, this is 100% guaranteed. You buy a copper. You play Devil's Workshop. Gain a black cat. React the falconer off of that black cat. There is no chance of missing there. Or the line they did a different line that also works. They didn't even need to find two money. Yeah. Okay, so 2-1 for Humor Time. Player 1 has won every game so far. That was definitely not a kingdom I would have played fast. Like, I feel like there's a lot of deck tracking to be done there. You want to make sure you know whether your plungers are coming up, when to play Chariot Race, and so forth. Yeah. I just didn't want to pop the engineers. I would not have popped the engineers when they did. I think that was a big deal. Now this kingdom looks kind of awkward. You got just like a lot of things that you can kind of sort of do. Nothing that's going to come together phenomenally. I was thinking Masquerade Silver into Sanctuary. Neither of them has gone that route. Humor Time has skipped Masquerade entirely, which seems bad to me. Goatherd Hideout. I mean, Masquerade's going to draw you 2 regardless. You don't need the action when your other card is a village. Masquerade also has the benefit of you get to see the 2 cards before trashing. So, like, you could draw an estate even if you didn't have one in your hand. Yeah. Yeah, but like if you just like I think just like Masquerade Silver, and if my opponent gets a Goat Herd, I mean you just take Sanctuaries and then you trash the rest of your cards that way, and then that Goat Herd's never going to do anything for you. I think there's room for Jack here at some point for sure. I don't think I would open with it, but I don't think it's not bad, and I think you consider getting it soonish. Yeah. Seaway Jack is not what I was anticipating. There's another card here that already has plus buy on it. Well, I mean, there's also Farmer's Market, but I was referring to Sanctuary. It seems very good to me. Not really, no. Yeah. Yeah. PPP does seem to be very much in the lead. Might have something to do with that Masquerade opening. That does confuse me. I don't think you need two Jacks. I think like maybe Sanctuary Estate would be fine. Exile Estate, I don't know. I don't. Yeah. I think one Jack is a fine number, easy way to get some payload. I don't think I want two Jacks here. Dime is looking real good here. What card is that? Oh, P10, I see. It's 10 pence. That took a second. Yeah, I mean, they still seem to be very much in a winning position, despite those buys. Here I would definitely take an Estate and then a Sanctuary, I would think. Or a third Jack? Okay. Yeah, three Jacks is too many, I would think. Like, I don't think you're planning to play a hideout every single turn in the long term. So you're not going to be able to play all these Jacks. Exile the Jack you just bought. Unfortunately, I feel like if they bought it, they're not planning to exile it. Yeah. Yes, I would exile Jack here. Alright, you can still trash the Jack with the other Jack. Nope, they want it. Okay. Maybe they're buying the extra Jacks to pass when their opponent hits them with Masquerade. I mean, I like the idea of a Jack getting me an Aqueduct point each time I play it. That's not bad. Well, let's see. Is there like a double Jack buy Estate, exile Estate, golden deck that you could build if you like? Yeah. get those. Well, 3 points a turn because you're getting the Estate and you get to exile the Estate. So you like buy a copper each turn to feed your hideout, and then you buy an Estate for the Aqueduct points. Maybe that's what PPP is building to. Yeah. 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 Yeah, they've gone from very, very ahead to very ahead. That sounds about right. All right, pass the jack. Pass. Nope. not gonna do it. I mean, your opponent's already got 2 jacks. They have no use for a third one. Give them a third jack. Buying coppers. Okay. They really want to keep playing all these jacks. Aqueduct's empty at this point. I ain't getting points off of it. Why are you even playing jacks every turn if you don't want the silvers? I don't get it. They did. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. This province now. Are they gonna buy some coppers? They are. You could just trash the jack or the masquerade. Maybe you want to keep the masquerade. I'm not sure. Yeah, masquerade could really throw them for a loop. Oh, so the other problem with this strategy is if you're planning to trash like a bunch of coppers every turn, you're also giving your opponent like a pretty good goat herd play. Like that goat herd is just like a laboratory the way these decks are built. Yeah. Yeah, player 1 is continuing their win streak here. Pass the jack, pass the jack. Absolutely pass the jack. 100%. I assume Wine Winner's not listening. Sad. Oof. Now, do you pass Sanctuary here? I think so. If assuming humortime plays a masquerade, then I think I would pass the Sanctuary as PPP to guarantee I could hit province again. Yeah, that would explain so much. If maybe they saw Aqueduct and confused it with Tomb. Nonetheless, I don't see Humor Time coming back here. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Tis very much over. Yeah, like, for example, the jacks being played and not exiled. Yeah. Alright, 4-0 for player 1. Yes. Yeah, these have been very rapid plays. Now, this especially looks like a kingdom where I would slow down and think about it a lot. There's a lot going on here. Double cargo and cargo silver seem like the possible opens to me. Yeah. 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 I think I'm leaning towards cargo silver, slightly safer, and you really don't want to miss 5 here because the 5s are so much better. But I think cargo is the other plausible opening. And then if it pays off, it really pays off. Oh, so Humor Time misses their cargo ship. Yes. Yeah, I think if you hit find cargo turn 3 and miss 5, you absolutely buy cargo for turn 4. I was thinking Apprentice. Yeah, that does seem strange. Alright, so you've got 5 here now. I'd start thinking about Royal Carriages, I think. They like Festival. I mean, you want a village of some sort. Carriage struck me as the best village, but Festival's not bad. Hmm. Okay, so they opt to play the cargo ship rather than attack. I think I'd rather attack, but I mean, it's not an obvious choice. As it turns out, I don't think the attack would have done much seeing PPP's hand. So this is fine as well. That's a good question. Oh, you mean in their hand? I think like in their deck. Ooh, this is a great, yeah. Getting to buy 2 5s here. Like 2 buys and 10 is exactly what you want to be building towards. I don't like the festivals compared to the royal carriages. Yeah, and a royal carriage is like such a good card. It's just like whatever other 5 cost card you have in your hand plus an extra action. Like it's a non-terminal torturer or a apprentice that's a village. It's so flexible. Yeah. I think they have 2. Yeah, I do not dislike the suggestion of storyteller. It seems like a good way to draw through some of these coppers and add some reliability. Oh, and the pilgrimage is nice. As is tradition, player 1 is ahead. All right, we finally have not a festival, a royal carriage gained. Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't seem of all the times they might have wanted to have been thinking, this is not the one where I'd be like, let me deeply contemplate the play order here. Festival, Torturer, Storyteller seems pretty clear. And then, despite thinking, they choose what seems to be the absolute worst order. Why would you lead with this? Okay, it's not the absolute worst order. Playing Torturer first before the Festival, I guess, is the worst order. But yeah, I didn't understand that. Yeah, that seemed like a very clear blunder. Okay, so maybe playing quickly is strategic for these two. Maybe thinking just leads them astray, and then they end up making worse decisions. Maybe they just need to go with their gut more often. Yeah, it's like a reverse Lord Rattington, where like Lord Rat always discards, no matter what. Oh, Pilgrimage looks nice here. I guess you really want another festival here as PPP. I mean, theoretically, you could take another carriage and then carriage your festival as well if you really wanted to. But I'd like hate to bottom deck my soul plus buy at this point in the game. That's a lot of curses. I really don't think I want that many apprentices, to be honest. Like, I feel like you can call Royal Carriage on your apprentices in the short term if you want a bunch of trashing. And then I'd rather have extra carriages rather than extra apprentices, because once the trash goes, that Royal Carriage can be repurposed to something else, whereas your apprentice starts to look like a more dead card. Don't think this was a good play order. It looks like they've just missed out on the opportunity to play their Storyteller, because now if they play it, they way overdraw and lose all their money. It looks like, yeah, they should have played Storyteller first, then Festival, then Torture, I think makes the most sense. Yeah, I don't know what those two cards are, so maybe this made sense. They couldn't have known that, though, not the time that they did the thing. I think it just made sense to play Storyteller before Festival, so you draw a small number of cards with it, rather than overdrawing and wasting your money. Okay, is that Province too early? Maybe. It didn't feel like Province time yet. I don't see piles being all that low. Yeah, look at this hand. This Province is... Just looking at this hand is convincing me very thoroughly that Province is too early. They got something coming in. Yeah, this looks like a dud that could seriously hurt them, and I think it was entirely caused by their play order. Well, not entirely, but largely caused by their play order. Which isn't good, because 10p is player 2. Yeah. Yeah. That's quite possible. Mm-hmm. I think no. I mean, I do love Artificer as a card, but all the other 5s here just look so appealing that I don't see the value in playing around with Artificer. Yeah, Pilgrimage looks good. And it saves the buy. Alright, so what's in that bottom 5 cards? I think there's at least a spoils down there. Okay, so I think you can set aside whatever here, but I think I'm definitely cargo shipping a Storyteller for the following turn. Because I think those cards are bad, but I know there's a spoils in it. So I think a Storyteller would be sufficient. Or you could just kill the cargo ship. That didn't seem good, but... just trash 2 curses and set aside a Storyteller, and then you're fine. Yeah. 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 I don't think you really are desperately needing to province all that much. I think they're greening too early. Look at this hand again. Look at this hand. That they're doing this to themselves. This was very avoidable. They've now scuttled their whole navy, so they don't have a reliable way to top deck in the future. Yeah, the problem with PPP is if they wanted dud more, they should have added more curses to their deck. The Humor Time was able to win the curse split, and so they're more effectively causing more duds for themselves. Is the idea to like threaten a pile out? Oh, let's see. They've played a cargo ship. I wouldn't pilgrimage here. I would buy something, a card that I really want in my next hand. Could be like a Storyteller, could be a Bandit Camp, whatever. Something that makes me less likely to dud. Artificer didn't seem like the choice, but it's fine. Oh yeah, no. This looks over. PPP can triple province here, and then I don't know what Humor Time does in response to that. Maybe quad province? I don't know. They were tripling last turn. Oh, I see. Johnson's idea is to trash a province for draw, and then you can convert that into a province. That's a nice idea. That could work. Well, you could Artificer first and then draw with the Apprentice. You don't need to do it in the order that was presented in. Five coppers, silver, Haven, and like one festival, and then you're guaranteed to draw. I mean, they don't need to do 4 provinces. I think if they do 3 provinces, they win. They could probably even do like maybe 3 provinces and a duchy here. It very much looks so. Especially, look at humortime's hand again. We're going to see a player 2 win. Yep. Yeah, I guess you could just consider like maximizing your chance of not deading, but you can Haven a storyteller. And wait, why aren't you playing the? Oh, okay, they had 4 anyways. That's fine. I see. that's a valid reason to not bother setting up for next turn, is if there is no next turn. And well, they are player 1, so it's looking good for the P's. I imagine you get it. Yeah. Yeah, I'm convinced. Yeah. The fact that there aren't plus buys makes it non-trivial to get whatever gets exiled back. So I would think Chapel for sure. 5-2 Chapel Bazaar seems all right. What are we doing on 4-3? Chapel and yeah, those do seem like the 2 viable decks to me. Is Amulet Money or Cardinal Stack? The more I'm thinking about it, the more I think I'm leaning towards the amulets, actually. Just because you have no way to buy additional things, and playing a stack of cardinals, it's going to take a bunch of turns. Like, you're buying a herald or a cardinal per turn for quite a while. Whereas amulets, you can buy like 2 or 3 amulets and then just consistently get like 2 silvers every turn, and then you get up to province much faster. Okay, yeah, I think I'm officially on like Chapel amulet, and then you just play a bunch of amulets. Yeah, that's also true. It is. I mean, it's doing damage to the deck that does not have an amulet in it. Okay. Yeah, they don't seem to, either of them, want to play the amulet thing. They both are playing the cardinal deck. That is one solution. I would think Herald seems clearly better given the deck they're trying to build. Like, you're not going to need money. You're going to have like 1 buy worth of buys, and you're going to have more than 8 money for like every turn of the game. I think you want Heralds more than Bazaars here by a lot. I guess their Bazaar might make sense because you have to unexile it. I was saying like that second Bazaar buy might make sense because you had to exile the other one, or unexile the other one. But in general, Herald seems better than Bazaar here. Look at this hand, though. Buying duchies is actually a pretty funny counter to Cardinal, because they'll exile your duchies for you. Definitely, if I'm playing that amulet deck, I would consider buying early duchies. Like if I failed to hit 8, pretty strongly. Yeah. I was like lock him out of the game. The problem is like PvP's deck is not really set up to play all that many Cardinals either. They got the Heralds back, and they're about to lose one of them, or they lost the Cardinal instead. That's fine as well. Yeah, and on a seeing these, I feel like Amulet was definitely the move. You've fallen for the classic trap. Yeah, it looks like we're going to game 7. I don't know, 3 in a single buy kingdom, you have to really botch it badly to come back. Yeah, Road Network is nice. But like the Cardinal only really locks out of the game once these piles empty, which is not coming super soon. Otherwise, they just have to hit like 4 once or 5 once to buy back all their Bazaars and Cardinals and whatnot. I don't know. It also bothers me that they're just like not bothering to trap these last few coppers. I feel like I would get rid of those. You want your heralds to hit. I don't think I want coppers and settlers because of Herald. All right. All right. The final game. So random start. Oh, they're doing this wrong. This is someone stop them. No, this is wrong. You're supposed to have a random starting order. Yeah. Yeah. Oh no. PPP is correctly objecting to being player 2 here. It should be random start. Yeah. I don't know if someone wants to like ping him on Discord or something, and just be like, "This is wrong. This is fundamentally calling into question the sanctity of the tournament structure." Yeah. PPP does have the rules correct. It should be random start, and then if you what was I gonna say? If you tie, player 2 wins. Yeah, as player 2 in this kingdom, I would absolutely be demanding a reroll. That was gonna be fast. That was gonna be really fast. This is a rapid match. It's like one E Honda game worth of time has elapsed. Okay, what do we have here? Ambassador War again. We started with an Ambassador War. We're gonna end with an Ambassador War. And then Tactician seems good. I would play with Tactician here. Yep. You can even play with Treasures. Storyteller makes Treasures like not that bad in a Tactician deck because you can draw with them. Yeah. I mean, yeah, like the treasures can't be your like payload, but you can be fine having them in your deck. Like if you bought a silver early, you don't need to get rid of it or anything. It's like a little laboratory now if you have a storyteller in there as well. Cut purse seems wrong. Double ambassador. I just want to not have a million cards in my deck. Embargo is also not a card that I want. Yeah, I think I like early Tactician. Seems good. You could probably play like 2 ambassadors with it. Well, you could play 2 ambassadors with your Tactician if you had 2 ambassadors in your deck, which neither of them does. But that is a separate problem. Well, I mean, Tactician gives you a village effect for the next turn. You could play 2 ambassadors already. Yeah. PPP fears the ill-gotten gains. I don't know, like, while the IGG pile is at 10, I feel like there have been many ill-gotten gains so far in this kingdom. Humor Time looks like they're up and running faster. Yeah, send back the coppers. Absolutely send back the coppers. You don't need those coppers. Yeah, I just like this. It looks like chat wants attack now. That seems reasonable to me. And oh, there we go. Yeah, this is a very... Okay, this is getting a little bit better. A little better. They can buy a 5 at least. Bizarre. Yeah. I think Humor Time wants another Conspirator or 2 and then a second Tactician. Like, once you have enough money in your deck to, like, buy a thing and still play Tactician, I want to be playing Tactician every turn. Yeah. That is true. Yeah. Actually, I think PPP is in the lead. Yeah. Yeah, that is a lot of cards in there, though. The cut purse is winning out after all. I would think so. Second Tactician here. Then I think you're going to want a Conspirator next so that you can be hitting 8. And you can buy 2 Conspirators and your deck's going to escalate pretty fast from there. Yeah, this... I don't think Humor Time has... Yeah. Also, a second ambassador a long time ago would have been very good for humor time. So they apparently they do want to trigger. They just they just want to trigger a shuffle that has 5 not tactician cards in it. Don't double province. Okay, good. I think I might have considered keeping that estate, actually, for PPP. I think the estate junking hurts a lot worse than the copper junking here when you're playing a Haunted Woods every turn. Okay, yeah, this looks thoroughly over. Like, PPP is drawing their entire deck in their starting hand every turn. There's not much to be done. They really like the Bazaars. Yeah, I think I agree with Storyteller there. It draws through a ton of this junk. But none of it makes a difference. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, these are like 10-minute games consistently over a 7-game match. I like this buy. I like Distant Lands Conspirator. You're not in any rush. Your deck's never gonna fail at this rate. That's true. Uh, that's so much junk to deal with, though. Like, are they gonna find their tacticians reliably? Like, one dud here, and they're just. I think it's definitely possible to trigger a shuffle here. It doesn't look reliable that they'll find their tech. Haha, taking the curse. They gained a Distant Lands. Yeah. Indeed. Yeah, definite double province. Especially, it stops your opponent from double provincing, because then they know you win. Tomorrow. in the evening. It's pretty sure. For context, I did not have like power for like a day and a half, but I'm now back at my place and the power is back on, so I don't see anything that would prevent me from being able to play tomorrow. Yeah. I'm gonna finish this recording and then I'll message you a time.